So, we're not labeled as NIMBYism here on this issue. It's not just the city of Palm Springs that opposes it, Cathedral City opposes it, the Palm Desert Chamber of Commerce opposes it. We're going to talk a little bit at the end of who in this room opposes the jail, but we think that they should take a look and go back to the original plan. They needed 2,283 beds. How did they get to 7,200? That 5,000. Get the beds that we need now, expand where we should be expanding, where they were going to expand. Or go back and take another look at the alternative sites, especially now if you've got this economic report that it's going to be such a gold mine. Go back and look at that economic report. And again, everybody should have their fair share. We should as well. We want to put criminals away and make sure they are not released. One thing I didn't mention, this is a detention facility. It currently isn't a hold and release facility. With the minor stroke of an administrative pen in somebody's office 5 or 10 years from now, this could become a hold and release facility at the entrance to the Coachella Valley. Again, we should not be importing people here. It is not worth the risk, not even 1% worth the risk. We will help them, we will find them another site, and that's how we plan on moving forward. I'm glad Mark is here, because Mark has heard me say this before. I need our Congresswoman right now. 26 months ago, we stood hand in hand opposing this site, and I hope that our Congresswoman will help us again in her city, because we need her help too on opposing this site. So I think working together, all of us, the electeds, can ensure that this detention center does not find its way at the entrance of the Coachella Valley. And with that, I'm going to actually come back to that at the end of my speech. Second topic, the Fashion Plaza. And I know everyone's hoping for fireworks or something from the mayor here today. There's one thing that we all agree on and we all care so much about, and it's the revitalization of our downtown. And also later in the speech, I'm going to be talking a lot about a lot of great things that have been going on downtown. A lot of the renovations, the new restaurants and things that have happened. But I know we all care deeply. It's important to us, and the sites, the Fashion Plaza, and the Town and Country site are important to all of us. They are sensitive pieces of property, which means there's going to be sometimes sensitive discussions about those properties. Mr. Mills and I have been a subcommittee now, Chris, thank you, for almost 8 years. 8 years on this topic. And regardless of what you may read in the paper or listen to on the radio or hear on the TV, yes, we may have some short meetings with Westman Development, we may have some longer meetings, but there's one thing that we never have ever done, and that is stop communicating. That's not what city government does. As I said, sometimes they're short meetings, they may be long meetings. Last night, we held a long meeting with John, who is here, John and Michael, and thank you for the hospitality. We held a long meeting before this morning, and a very productive meeting, I might add. And the three colleagues on my city council are not really aware of what occurred, but some real substantial things happened last night. Of course, the council will be discussing these in greater detail. But first and foremost, Westman Development has agreed to get into an OPA and a development agreement with the city by August the 1st of this year. That will explicitly outline the partnership, the timelines. I know everybody wants to know timelines, the when, the how, and how we're going to do that. And I think this is really important step to outline the scope of the project. So we'll hopefully have that in place by August the 1st. We also agreed at our meeting last night, this is definitely going to be a public-private partnership. The city is going to need your help to do some of the public infrastructure. And it truly is going to be a public-private partnership. And you will see that, I think, in the scope of the project that comes out of that. Being hand in hand with that DDA and the OPA, we will come to the voters in the city of Palm Springs. Absolutely. And ask you for your support in November of this year. How? I'm not sure yet, but will it probably be some sort of general tax or something like that? Yes, it will. And a November election needs 50% approval, not 2/3. But I am convinced with Westman Development and the city working hand in hand with those agreements, laying out exactly what the project is going to look like, who is going to be there, how we're going to do it, we can and we will make this happen. We also agree, because everyone then wants to know, well, really, when are we going to see something? We also agreed that within 45 days of the November election, within 45 days, some sort of significant demolition will take place on that site, depending, obviously, on the scope of the work. So I know for a lot of folks, maybe it's taken too long to get this far. But the bottom line is, we are working together, and I'm asking everybody, sort of like Dan asked, everybody in this room, to listen very, very closely to what's going to happen in the next several months, because working together, we can bring this project to fruition. I am very, very, very pleased to say that John and Michael, Westman Development, has been at both visioning sessions, and John and Michael will be at our visioning session at the Convention Center tomorrow night. So I encourage you all to attend if you weren't going to. And of course, we have agreed that we will go to ICSC with Westman Development in May. That's where most of the retail deals get done. And then we will do that as well. And so again, I want to ask all of you, and I want to hear a little round of applause. All of you, are you willing to help make this deal happen? Sustainability and the Innovation Hub. Last year we talked about the Innovation Hub that the City of Cathedral City, that Desert Hot Springs and the City of Palm Springs was awarded. It was one of the big announcements. Where are we today? It's always important to say, where are we today? And of course, the state is not just lobbying lots of money at us to develop our Innovation Hub. But our Innovation Hub has got a home. It's across the street from City Hall. Is going to be 2,000 square feet. And the exciting part of this transaction, and I know Wesley, you're here, the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, which of course Cliff Daniels is here, which is very involved in CVEP, has agreed to relocate from Tom Desert to across from the airport, from across from City Hall. CVEP is going to take 5,000 square feet. The City of Palm Springs Innovation Hub is going to take 2,000 square feet. So we still have a goal of innovating and creating companies that we're going to work within the sustainability environment. You bet we do. We bet you do. We brought John Raymond back from Fresno. JR, it's great to have you back to help guide this effort. But to have a confluence of economic development by the airport across from City Hall is really, really important. So we got a grant to do the tenant improvements for the Innovation Hub, so it continues to move hand in hand and will work hand in hand with the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership. Some of the things, there's a lot of folks in this room. I saw Tom Kiley somewhere, the school district, the healthcare district. We have our leadership council for Palm Springs that talks about sustainability. And we had a meeting about a week and a half ago, and I can't tell you how many things are going on in this city regarding just becoming greener and more environmentally friendly and sustainable and solar. It's absolutely unbelievable. Just quickly, some of the things that occurred in the past year. The city completed its greenhouse gas emissions inventory, and now we're going to implement that. Smart irrigation devices, I may have talked about this briefly last year. A smart irrigation device, and that doesn't mean ripping up all your landscaping, but just installing these, last year saved residents 3.5 million gallons of water saved. That's just incredible numbers, and it's my understanding the DWA may have another little program coming out with smart irrigation. Mr. Kiley, wherever you are at. One of the other things that we've gotten very involved is Arbor Day. So I run around a lot to the schools. We've given over 1,000 trees out for kids to plant in the city of Palm Springs, which I think is just incredible. And I know I saw Jim Cunningham here from Palm Springs Disposal Service. The recycle, I know the blue bins have been such a huge, huge hit, single stream recycling. Our recyclable rate now in the city of Palm Springs is 70%, which is actually just phenomenal. So we continue to move on. So we're very, very excited. Something more exciting that we're doing we're basically doing an energy audit on every public facility right now in the entire city. The results of this energy audit, initially, the initial numbers look like we are going to save, just from implementing some simple things, 2.5 million kilowatt hours, which will save us over $700,000 in the first year. These are things, taking a look at the cogen plant, doing everything to really look at how energy is being used. So with some simple things, I'm sure that if it's me talking here next year this time, we'll be talking about how much money we actually saved in 2011, probably close to $1 million just from the audit. So there are a couple things I think we have left to do within sustainability that I'm going to ask my council to approve. A couple of them they have approved. And the first one is I'm announcing a landscape retrofit program for homeowners associations. And I know Vic Gaynor, who is here, has been a champion of this for a long time. But it's clear that the homeowners associations have a lot of landscaping, have a lot of grass, have a lot of old, they waste water. I run around this town past a lot of them and get sprayed by water. It's like 10 feet away half the time. So we're going to have a program. There's $100,000 in the Sustainability Commission's budget right now for this program. I'm going to ask the City Council to take $150,000 from the Sustainability Fund. This is not general fund money, Sustainability Fund, and put $250,000 into a landscape retrofit program. More importantly, with homeowners associations, you've got most folks on fixed incomes, and the HOA dues are going up. And if this is a way to actually start reversing HOAs and dues for folks on fixed incomes, and we have well over 100 in the city of Palm Springs. So I'm going to ask the council to approve a landscape retrofit program for homeowners associations. One of the things that we did, we're fortunate in this city, we have wide roads. CVAG approved a non-motorized transportation plan. You see in Palm Springs more electric cars and people on bikes. And we are the first city, thank you colleagues, to actually pass the non-motorized transportation plan for Palm Springs. This is a plan that's not going to sit on the shelf. This is a plan that we're actually going to implement this coming year with our Public Works Department. And then the other really critical one, as a result of our audit that I talked about, energy audit, we are going to seek a proposal to put solar on the convention center. That time has come, folks. We need to be a showcase with that convention center to have solar on that roof to reduce our energy costs. So again, just a lot of wonderful things happening within our sustainability program.